The amulet ceases to glow the moment it is cut free, and you sense that it is now safe to touch. When you pick it up, you notice that on the facing side is engraved Nsapok's name, and on the reverse side you discover a runic a runic number. Record this Nsapok amulet on your action chart as a special item. And the runic number is 6, by the way.
Does Nord just label his minions like minion 6 or... Hold on. Still need to add this, and seriously,
maybe it's the phone number we have to call to return him to his owner.
Who would make a phone call just consisting of... never mind.
Maybe there aren't a lot of phones in the realm of darkness.
Okay, what was the item called again?
Nsapok's amulet.
I cannot pronounce his name, but I'm just saying evil amulet.
With the runic number 6 on it.
Okay, give me a moment. Need to add the description. Yes, Givenair, it is funny in a way, but... nah.
So, you hurry away, leaving Jabba the Hutt unravished, along a track that winds through the settlement of huts and down to a beach covered with coarse black sand. So, I guess he gets to live. So I guess you can add him to the staff.
I don't want that thing anywhere near our stuff.
Maybe he can take out the trash.
What? Just sit out there and eat it?
No, just carry it out and, squash cardboard boxes things has been in and such things. You probably be good at sorting it for... sorting it before sending it off.
Well, regardless, he is at this very moment unable to defend himself. So, yeah, we just move on.
When I look at him, I'm also reminded of the villain from the Tig episode, the Tig versus the Common Cold.
Huh.
I have actually not seen that show, but I take it word
What's his name? Rackersog.
That show was awesome.
Yeah, it really was. Oh, god damn it, I miss it.
Any case, here a ramshackle jetty constructed from wood and bone protrudes from the lee of a sand dune and out into the sluggish grey sea. Fringing the beach is a dense jungle from where there suddenly arises a cacophony of hellish cries. You glimpse shadows moving in the undergrowth, and when you stop momentarily to take a longer look, several arrows come shooting out of the trees. They arc towards you and explode when they hit the sand close by. Your kind senses warn you that there are a great number of archers lurking in the jungle, far more than you can hope to defeat single-handedly. Anxious to...
Exploding arrows.
Yep.
Neat trick,
Hawkeye is visiting.
And he's out for your blood. Anxious to escape while you're still able, you hurry down the beach to the jetty where you discover a sea-going canoe. Without daring to look back, you leap into this canoe, cast off its mooring rope, and paddle as fast as you can away from the shore. Ah. So you're applying the hunchback magician tactic.
I'm not sure what that is, but as long as we get out of
Let's
here.
jump into a rowboat and get out of there.
Huh. Well, I suppose that's what we do.
Yep.
I'll let it be exploded with arrows, and I don't want that.
Yep. Once you feel sure that you are beyond arrow range, you attempt to follow the coastline in the hope of finding a safer place to put ashore. But a mist sweeps in across the water and engulfs your tiny craft before you can change course. This mist thickens rapidly to become a dense fog, the like of which you have never experienced. Despite your advanced kite skills, you are unable to see through it, and quickly you lose all sense of time and direction. After what seems like many hours, you eventually catch sight of a dark shape below in the water, which at first appears to be a distant island. You paddle towards it, but as you draw closer, you sense that all is not what it seems. Then you feel a warm glow radiating from the pocket of your robe, and discover that it is the Nsapok amulet. Carefully, you just remove it, and guided purely by instinct, you hold this glowing disc of iron above your head. In the distance, you can hear the sound of rushing water, which is followed by an incredible sight. The island is sinking slowly into the sea. In less than a minute, it has completely disappeared without trace. The amulet no longer glows, and so you slip it back into your pocket before continuing your eerie voyage across this uncharted ocean. Gradually, the sea mist clears, and you catch sight of land on the horizon. Your senses tingle with expectations, for you have now entered a new realm of the plane of darkness, and you are aware of several dramatic changes to your immediate surroundings. The sluggish grey sea has become a muddy brown sludge that clings to your paddle like marsh slime. Every time you break the crusty surface, a cloud of tiny black insects erupt from the slime and soars into the warm, fetid air. The sky above is no longer green, it is a bilious yellow, and it's streaked with high clouds that flash intermittently with sheet lightning. So everything's brown, or yellowish.
I
Huh.
really hope we brought a nose
Yellow
check for this.
sky.
Yep.
Batman the Brave and the Bold. Ha ha.
Despite the glue-like consistency of the ocean, you detect a strong tidal undertow. Rather than fight it, you decide to cease paddling and allow it to carry you towards the distant shore. While you wait for the current to do its work, you retrieve the Tome of Darkness from your backpack and turn through its pages in hope of learning something of the secret of this new foul-smelling realm. The page that revealed to you information about Insapok's realm is now blank, but the one following it has changed in both color and texture. Lines of spidery writing have appeared on a page that now looks and feels like cured animal hide. Once again, using your magnetized discipline of penmanship, you are able to decipher much of this arcane text. The writings tells of two powerful beings called the Cunei, the Lords of Decay, and of their throne of power, which is located upon the rotting corpse of Gandes, the Worm of Noros. You scan the page, passing over a long list of vile deeds that have earned the Cunei the right to rule their ignoble realm, until you come to the part where details the secret names which can bind them. The names are Jantor and Runadan. The text instructs that those who could use the names in the presence of the Cunei to exercise great caution, for if the name that is spoken is not directed at the correct Lord of Decay, the evocator will sacrifice his body and soul and be enslaved to the Cunei forever upon the realm of putrefaction.
All the secret names again.
The names?
Yeah.
Jantor and Runadan. The text gives no indication on how to identify each of the Cunei, and does not state how and when the secret names should be used to bind them. Yet it does state that in order to leave their realm, one must possess a ring of power. One of two such rings would exist and are worn upon the first fingers of the right hands of the Cunei. You close the tome and stow it in your backpack. Time has passed rapidly while you have been consulting the book, and your canoe is now but a few hundred yards from the shore. Directly ahead you can see the estuary of a river, and away to your left you note a stony beach, which gently ascends to a forest of grey-green trees. Do you wish to paddle your canoe into the river estuary, or to beach your craft on the stony shore and explore the forest beyond?
Explore the forest.
What was the other option? Explore the forest or...
Paddle your canoe into the river estuary.
I say let's just paddle around a bit.
Warlord, you're the type... Okay. You work the turgid water with your paddle and enter the sluggish tidal flow of the estuary. Warily you scan the jungle which fringes both banks of this wide river mouth, your eyes peeled for signs of danger. You sense the presence of hostile creatures, yet even with your advanced Kai skills, you can detect no evidence that this territory is inhabited. You have progressed more than a mile upriver when you notice the jungle on the left bank is receding, leaving an expanse of marshy ground dotted with shrubs and sparse vegetation. You bring the canoe towards this bank where it grounds in the shallow less than 20 feet from the muddy shore. Not wishing to get any muddier than necessary, you leap from the canoe towards the grassy bank, but land a few feet short. To your dismay, you immediately sink up to your knees in the soft, sludgy mire. Suddenly you hear the sound of churning water. You glance behind and are horrified to see 3 large spider-like monstrosities rising up out of the murky water at the rear of the canoe. These creatures are the size of large dogs, and their bulbous bodies are covered with short, stubby hairs. With unnerving stealth, they creep across the mud and attack with their barbed forelegs and needle-sharp teeth. Do you wish to use Grand Hunt Mastery, or Telegnosis, or your bow, or none of the 3?
Well, we cannot just stand around there, but let me see. Hunt Mastery. Telekinesis. Yeah, okay, I support that.
You attempt to use your improved Kai discipline to alter your weight and free yourself from the clawing mud before the sinister Agnes close in for the kill. Give me roll the die.
Nine?
The moment you reach firm ground, you sprint headlong across the clearing towards a distant jungle perimeter. At first, the giant arachnids give chase, but they prove themselves not to be so agile on dry land, and you're soon able to outdistance them and escape. On entering the jungle perimeter, you force your way through the dense foliage, and soon discover the remnants of a trail which you follow for nearly a mile until you arrive at the edge of a second clearing. This area of level ground is devoid of foliage, yet it is littered with strange fruits that resemble giant grey pineapples. Beyond these curious fruits, you can see the ruins of a settlement, partially overgrown with moss. Warily you leave the jungle, make your way around the fruits, and hurry across the clearing towards a statue which is crouching amongst the ruins. It is constructed of a smooth, lustrous black mineral, and is fashioned in the likeness of some evil beast of prey. It reminds you of a hyena, but one with a missing lower jaw set with a pair of saber-toothed fangs. Between its forelegs is a flight of rubble-strewn steps, leading down to an open door. You detect waves of power emanating from somewhere beyond this darkened doorway, but you are unable to determine just how deep below the ground the source of energy is located. Do you wish to use telekinesis to spirit walk through the doorway to investigate?
Yeah, I would suggest that.
Sure.
You crouch down among some mossy boulders directly opposite the stairwell to the open entrance. Then, using your grand mastery, you let yourself slip into the trance state that will allow your conscious mind to leave your corporeal body. You continue to see your surroundings as they would appear to your physical eyes, but now you're able to transport yourself freely through the air like a bird. You glide towards the statue and swoop down through the open portal, pausing momentarily to scan the surrounding arc for hidden traps. Detecting none, you continue deeper into the darkness of this alien edifice. A wide stone ramp descends to a sealed portal which is engraved with runes. You cannot immediately decipher them, but you sense that they are evil in design and possess some destructive power locked within their jagged forms. Then the sound of a growl above and far away makes you suddenly fearful for the safety of your physical body, and so you leave the portal and descend rapidly to the surface where you rejoin your dormant form. Having already reconnoitred the entrance to your satisfaction, you're able to descend the steps and enter the base of the statue with confidence. You follow the stone ramp down to the sealed portal, where you carefully examine the runes which covers every square inch of its surface. You're beginning to fathom some of their secrets when suddenly you hear a noise above and behind you. Instantly you spin on your heel and reach for your weapon, but the outline that you see silhouetted in the archway at the top of the ramp is so shocking that you're unable to close your trembling hand upon it. Framed in the archway is a snarling saber-toothed beast with eyes that radiate darkness, like two dull satanic orbs.
They actually use the word satanic in this.
This is really weird, if you ask me, but whatever. It is hyena-like, and its hunched shoulders and straggly mane lend it an uncanny resemblance to the statue which sits atop the subterranean vault. Vile saliva drips from its fangs and snout, and an evil sound, part snickering, part bubbling, issue from its massive jaws. You know, Lomorph, you really don't have to describe all those things as vile, evil, and all that. It's just overused. Slowly and deliberately, it descends the ramp towards you. As it moves, you notice that the ribs of its great frame are showing through its furry hide, giving it an emancipated appearance. You sense the tag that it is starving, but it sees you as the answer to its gnawing hunger. So, did you get any moontoke honey from those bees earlier?
No.
Nope. I do not recall.